Micah, go ahead.
So I have been reading through this ordinance, and I was walking in my local park walk that I like to walk on, and I'm looking at all the houses along the edge of the park, and I'm thinking, if we pass this, are we opening up the door to a lot of issues? Because I'm watching these homes kind of do what they want to on the edge of the property, and I'm just concerned we're opening up a whole avenue here. Can someone help me with that?
You want to go ahead and address that?
So normally, I guess, first of all, the land use fees wouldn't come to the operations committee. Normally, they go solely through the finance committee and ultimately onto the board there. The reason that we brought them to you today in the operations committee is to resolve the issue of the tree trimming request from Lamar Advertising. So at our last operations committee, we were directed to come up with some sort of a proposal or resolution to address the tree trimming, the fee associated with tree trimming. And so what we did was included a fee in your land use fees. Normally, this is where you would deal with all your impact fees to trees and landscape material, whatever, resulting from the issuance of a license. So what we've proposed is that the minimum fee for any kind of tree removal is $600 for a non-native tree and $1,200 for a native tree. That's the minimum for a tree impact. So what we've proposed is that any trimming request, regardless of the size of the tree, we follow that same guidance as native and non-native. And we assess simply the minimum fee. Since the tree is not being removed totally, taken out, that it be just assessed at that minimum fee of $1,200 for a native tree trimming and $600 for a non-native tree. You asked whether this would open up a lot of issues for us. Potentially, yes. Up until now, the answer for any tree trimming was no. So that was not allowed, with the exception of anything that was of a life safety issue. In particular, if a tree was on a utility line or something of that nature, yeah, obviously we're going to want to have that tree trimmed or that limb trimmed off of the tree. So we routinely deal with people who have removed trees or trimmed trees adjacent to our properties. We call those encroachments, and they're dealt with accordingly. They're assessed fines depending on what they've done. We're dealing with one right now in Plainfield where an individual went across the street. He decided he didn't like the trees on our property, so he cut them all down and proceeded to burn them. Well, he's going to get a fine for that. So those are the kinds of ways in which we normally deal with any kind of a impact to vegetation on our property. So our concern is that this now provides an avenue for a person to make that request, and then for us to have to make a determination of whether that request is worthwhile or not. So a limb is hanging over your yard. You don't like that limb hanging over your yard because the leaves fall or maybe acorns or something of that nature. You want it trimmed off. Now we've given these individuals or that individual an opportunity to petition to have that removed, and then it's up to us or ultimately up to you to decide, do we allow that tree to be trimmed or not? So those are the kinds of things that we're concerned about, and it's hard to play that out without actually getting into some of those situations into the future. I can only tell you what we've done in the past and what may happen in the future.
Well, it doesn't apply to government.
I know that, the forest preserve, thus its name. We are trying to preserve the forest, and that is where our primary focus should be. And then there's the, the past was always, no one could trim a tree. And now we're looking at, like, a few people can trim a tree. It just seems off to me a bit. So, thank you.
Commissioner Trinier?
Yes, thank you. While I certainly don't condone what the guy did who chopped down all the trees, my understanding of law as it pertains to trees in neighborhoods, if Sherry's tree, and she lives next door to me, is over the top of my property line and on my property, I can cut it. Now, if I'm a good neighbor, I'll go to Sherry and I'll say, Sherry, really, can you trim the tree? Because I don't really like your acorns, peaches, leaves falling in my yard. Or I don't like you shading my flower bed, whatever it is. And she can choose to do that. But if it's on my property, I can just cut it. Now, does that law apply to the forest preserve?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
That is correct.
So then my question here, I understand the fees that we're talking about, the 600, 1,200, if I'm looking at the right section, but it also has an application and processing fee. So when you say 600 and 1,200, you're really talking about 1,100 and 1,700. Is that correct? Plus the $50 fee for the special use permit, or am I missing something?
It is only the 612.
And this seems to be like taking the tree out entirely, because it talks about per caliper inch. How does that pertain to trimming?
It doesn't. There's
Okay,
another line.
I missed that.
If you go further down, there's another line there for the actual tree.
Is that considered other damages? No. Tree trimming requests for the benefit of adjacent commercial properties or facilities are issued at the discretion of the executive director or the board of commissioners. Is that the one you're talking about?
If you look
Okay.
so if you look at where it says impact fee and then it says high quality native trees, shrubs, and plants, first bullet point says $600 per caliber inch for native trees and shrubs requiring
Removal.
and the second bullet says $1,200 per tree for commercial requests requiring partial.
Ah, okay, partial, I missed that word. Okay, thank you very much.
Commissioner Butler?
I'm on the committee.
Okay, thank you. I just wonder, is there some distinction between residential and commercial? Because this seems to be a little bit of forest preserve in a larger commercial area.
So that's how I tried to narrow it in this proposal that I forwarded to you, is it's limited to commercial requests. There still is no permit or, there is still no permit available for a residential
Okay,
request.
so then I would say that would pretty much close the door and not leave it quite so wide open for everybody to come in and request that, because this is a commercial area primarily, and there's just a small sliver of responsibility from the forest preserve, and it's kind of unique, in my opinion.
It is, and what makes it even more unique is that the commercial entity in which we're allowing the tree trimming does not own the property on which the tree is over. Well, the tree actually doesn't overhang our property. It's completely on forest preserve property, but it's blocking the sign. Partially blocking the sign.
We'll go Commissioner Berkowitz and then Mueller.
If that were to be removed, what is the impact to the tree?
If it was to be trimmed,
Yes.
There would not be a significant impact to the tree. We would require an arborist to do the evaluation, but based on my view, and I'm not an arborist or an expert, it would not have a significant impact on the tree itself.
Okay, it wouldn't be unbalanced or anything?
No, it could be trimmed in such a way that to make it look a little bit more natural. What I will say though is that, I don't know, 5 years from now or so, maybe we're back getting it trimmed again.
Right, and that was my next point. So it's a living, growing thing. And given that, where do we find ourselves? Like you say, and we'll be back in the same situation if we determine to go through this route to allow somebody to trim trees that are on our property. So,
At such time in the future, if that tree does grow and it blocks the sign again, and Lamar Advertising still owns it and would like the sign
right.
unblocked, then they would need to apply for another permit.
And then I think we all need to realize that if we allow that to happen this time, if they come forward a second time, you have very little ability to really deny their request, even if it does impair the future of the tree. That's the way I have evaluated the situation. I do want, there's a lot of conversation on this, but I would like to, if legal counsel has any comments or anything to share with us, I encourage him to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I've reviewed the ordinance, it's fine, it's for you to decide. I think Commissioner Trainier pretty much summarized the law accurately. The only thing I would add to that interpretation is that if you cause damage to the tree when you trim your neighbor's tree, then you have to pay them for that damage. So, but other than that, I really don't have any comment. If you have specific questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Commissioner Mueller?
Thank you. Good morning. Let's say we pass this and 5 years from now, 2 years, 10, whatever, we decide this was a bad idea. We got to do something about this. How easy is it to reverse that?
These land use fees come to you every year. So every year, at about this time, May, June, you will approve the fees for the coming year.
So we have, every year we can make this choice if we need to.
That's correct.
And I'm sure you can give us a report on how much it has affected us or affected the organization or the operations, so we can have some data to gauge that by.
We can certainly give you a report on
Because we
how
get,
many
we get reports on vandalism and fines and everything, so this can just be part of that, maybe. Okay, thank you. Ooh, sorry.
Mark, you give your hand up.
I just did.
Member Rivas? These are our trees, so if we decided we wanted to cut one down, we could do that on our own without any fees, right? So if it was leaning or something because of wind. We could certainly decide to cut the tree down without any, but it's our tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember Commissioner Newquist?
Yeah, I'm not on the committee either, but isn't there a way that we can just treat this as a one-off without changing our ordinance? Because the way I look at this, the billboard was there first, so technically we are encroaching on their commercial space, if you will. So if you go back to the good neighbor theory, it seems to me like we'd be being the good neighbors if we trim the tree. I mean, but they're willing to pay for that. We don't even have to incur the cost for that. So isn't there some way that we can just do this as a one-off without making a blanket change that affects every future situation?
But if we, as a board, wanted to make a motion to cut any tree down, could we do that? So, I think, Commissioner Trainier was next.
Yeah, I don't think there's an issue here because Commissioner Newquist was talking about, encroachment. I don't think there's any issue with the encroachment here. Okay, there's no encroachment. This tree isn't encroaching on anything, in my opinion. We're talking about natural vegetation. The situation you're talking about is I put up another building and I put it up and I blocked their view. The cases are back and forth on that. Some think it's a bad thing. Some think it's all right. It just depends on the particular situation and what the view is of. Here we're talking about the view of a billboard or a view of Walmart or whatever, based on your perspective or your angle. I don't think there's any encroachment here.
Sure. Commissioner Butler and
If I can ask,
he doesn't
who are you?
you don't serve on operations, so I'm not sure you can.
And we have a pending motion as well, so I don't think we can entertain another motion just yet.
Our
Commissioner
speaker's
Freeman.
working again. So I'm not denying that the tree is an issue. I'm not denying that it's blocking any part of his sign. I am concerned about the ordinance opening that up for future. So like right now, it says commercial, which means residential is excluded. So someone comes to us down the, say, 6 months, and they're like, well, you approved it for this guy on commercial, why not approve it for me? Is there a legal something that could get us in trouble there?
I don't believe so.
Because that's the, why are you doing it for one and not the other kind of thing I'm thinking of in my head. So thank you.
Thank you. Did I miss anybody? All right. Oh, sorry, Commissioner Berkowitz.
Okay, Ralph, how often have we waived the fees for somebody who cuts down any vegetation on forest preserve property? Have we ever done that?
I would say not for an individual or a corporation. It could possibly be that we've gotten into intergovernmental agreements with municipalities on a number of occasions that for public improvements that require some tree removal, but typically we're getting something else in exchange.
Private use.
So I'll give you an example. We worked out an intergovernmental agreement with the city of Joliet. We received, as part of that, an extension of a trail, extending that trail, both their public improvement and extending that trail required tree removal. In that instance, there is no impact.
So normally, and I recall in previous instances that if there was an improvement and trees were removed, then that company or that municipality made a donation so that whatever was taken away would be replanted in another area. So we've had situations like that. So there is that replacement value of what was taken away.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we have in the past several times that's come forward and that has been followed through. I think we need to remember that if you take something away, that basically our policy was to replace it or make sure that we haven't lost it. Right now, I'd say that I'm a little confused. The way I thought today is we weren't voting on that, but we are hopefully going to approve these land use or these fees today. Is that correct?
You are not approving a permit for Lamar Advertising. What you're doing is approving a mechanism to issue a permit.
Oh, the mechanism to issue a permit.
Yeah, the mechanism, which would be establishing a fee for tree trimming.
So we're going to vote on whether or not we will allow the branch to be removed and a fee to be determined.
Yes, you're setting the fee at $600 for a non-native tree and $1,200 for a native tree.
Oh, okay. And then this vote will also indicate whether or not this particular party can do that to this particular tree.
No.
No, okay.
It
awesome.
will.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What it does is it creates a process and a fee, and then that's handled administratively under my signature. So that permit would be issued by me in accordance with the policy that you've set.
Okay. And does staff have a recommendation?
We've provided a couple of recommendations. Our original recommendation was just say no. Our second recommendation is contained here, where there's a fee that is assessed for that commercial request.
Commissioner Dean Schlattman, and then we'll go to Coleman.
Okay, it's my understanding from before that this tree's not even fully grown yet, correct? Correct. So at some point it's gonna get bigger, and then we're gonna have to pay for all of it anyway, the trimming, if it gets bigger. There looks like there's lines around there. I don't know what's gonna come in. But it's gonna then eventually get further on this billboard. And this gentleman came in and wants to pay for the trimming. Let's just let him pay for it. Let's go with the, ordinance. And if we have to even lower the fees for him, like if that becomes something that it doesn't have to be, 600, maybe we make an exception then and lower his fees, because I think that was his issue. He said he'll pay for it, but it was all the other fees that were going to add him.
Originally, it was
Extra cost.
$3,600.
Right. Okay. So we're lowering that now to
Pretty
600.
significantly, yeah.
Okay.
From 3,600 to 600.
Okay. So, because, at some point, this is going to get even bigger, and this tree is not going to stop being an issue. So let's just move forward with this, because I say let them trim it, and let's. Right. And it's going to continue to grow. So it's going to continue to block more and more of the billboard. So right. So this is just a problem that isn't going to go away. It'll become worse and worse. So I think the ordinance is fine. I don't see a whole lot of other commercial industries constantly coming in. And again, then we have the say-so, yes or no. It's not going to, because we did one for the other, we have to do it for them. I don't let my children do everything they want to do based on, you did it for them, you have to do it for me. You say no. We can say no.
Thank you. Commissioner Coleman?
You answered the question I had originally, Ralph. So it was $3,600, but now it's $600. So if the street continues to grow and they need to cut again, do they have to continue, do they have to keep reapplying and paying $600? Okay.
Okay, are we ready to call the roll? All right. Let's call the roll.
Dean Schlottman. Balich. Williams. Coleman. Freeman. Berkowitz. Trainier. Pretzel.
Yes.
Yes, 6-2. 6-2.
Okay. Passes 6-2. Next on the agenda, approval of ordinance number 632, authorizing public utility license to Comcast Corporation for the installation and maintenance of underground CATV cable fixtures across Waponzie Glacial Trail at Arabian Avenue, Elwood Road, Diane Way in Manhattan. Probably gonna need a clean roll on this one. Any discussion? Okay, I'll call the roll.
Dean Schlottman. Balich. Williams. Coleman. Freeman. Berkowitz. Trainier. Pretzel.
Yes.
We have 8.
Number 3, approval of resolution number 2305, authorizing the sponsorship of a grant application to the Illinois Department of Natural Resources Boat Access Area Development Grant Program with the City of Wilmington. Looking for a motion. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, approval of resolution number 2306, authorizing intergovernmental agreement number 2302 with the City of Wilmington regarding the Kankakee River canoe and kayak launch at North Island. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, permission to bid asphalt crack seal and seal coating. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Last, permission to bid Four Rivers Environmental Education Center outdoor classroom renovations. Okay, second Berkowitz. We do have discussion on this. Commissioner Trainier.
I just was curious. I was just there, and I missed the thing in the window that I was supposed to catch from Goose Chase, but I was just there. And the classrooms looked fine to me, so I'm just kind of curious what you're doing specifically.
So this is outdoor classrooms, not interior.
Oh,
So these,
silly me.
Yeah.
Okay, I misread it. Okay.
Any
You can
other-
still talk about it, though.
oh, well, what we're doing is constructing 2 outdoor classrooms to accommodate groups as, or children as when they come in. One is a renovation of an existing structure, and one is construction of a new structure. One is near the pond out back behind the facility, and the other is actually under the marina adjacent to the river.
So do you just build like a pergola? Is that what you're doing?
So
kind of thing?
in one of them, what we're doing is a portion of the under, well, it's in the marina, but it extends over a portion of the water. We're decking that over to enlarge the space to accommodate the group. In the other location, what we're doing is actually constructing a space for the classes.
Cool. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, we have a motion and a second. Looking for a previous roll. Previous roll. Freeman, second Berkowitz, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Next is executive session, and we do have an executive session planned today for review of executive session minutes, 5 ILCS 120-2, C21. So, can I ask, I need a motion to go into executive session.
We've reviewed various, we've talked about executive session minutes. The board, as required, has done their 6-month review, and there's a recommendation to move forward with releasing some minutes. So,
Motion, Trinier.
those
second
are of
Ballard.
October 5, 2022. Thank you. No, thank you.
We have a motion by Trinier, second by Balich. And we need a clean roll on this?
Yeah.
D. Schlotman. Balich. Williams. Coleman. Freeman. Berkowitz. Trainier. Pretzel.
Yes.
8 executive minutes are approved.
Okay, that concludes actions following executive session. Next, reports. First, quarterly vandalism and fly dumping report. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Ralph. We always like to hear from you.
Sure, yeah, I know. In our first quarter, we normally give you a quarterly vandalism and fly dumping report. We've been doing this for years. It's just a way to catalog what's kind of going on out in the forest preserves. It's hard to judge patterns. We can judge some patterns in individual preserves, but overall, just based on the fact that you could have some you could have some that were extremely costly. It's hard to tell financially where we are. But overall, what I can say is that we had 15 reports of vandalism, fly dumping, and theft in the first 3 months of the year, at 9 preserves with a total cost of just under $2,350, which represents about a 60% decrease from that same quarter last year. So everything was a little bit better winter of 2023 than 2022, I guess.
Is it seasonal at all in nature? I mean, does it increase in the summer
Yes, definitely.
by a lot? Do we need to vote to
No.
accept this or enter? Okay. Number 2, quarterly ordinance ticket report. Give it back to you guys.
Same concept. We report quarterly on the O-ticket reports, and it includes our ordinance violations, local violations, state citations, warnings, and administrative closures. This quarter, Q1 for 2023 was right around average. The average for 5 years is 117, and we're at 114. Same concept, it's seasonally, so Q1, Q4 a little lower. The second and third quarters are higher due to the nice weather.
All right, well, keep up the good work. And Commissioner Freeman?
The quarter one arrests, were those actual, like, you arrested them and took them to jail arrests?
Not all of them. Some of the citations are counted as arrests.
Okay, yeah,
So
because
they
I'm
don't
like,
know- yeah,
you
get
know, walking a
processed
dog
and
without a leash. It was
No,
like, what?
they're just
It's
counted
like
as
a little
arrests.
scary there.
No.
I just had to clarify that one.
Any other? Commissioner Trainier?
Thank you. So I have a couple things for Ralph. The first one is good news, and I'm hoping we're already acting on it. Public transportation grants available for non-motorized transportation, Ralph. I'm thinking Weber Road. And there's like some big money, and we have till May 24th at 5 p.m. to apply. We're not done? Ralph, hurry. Do I need to make a motion that we use some reserves to finish the phase 1? You, all right, start it. Ralph, we're missing money here. I need my sidewalk. Thank you. And hopefully they'll have money next year too, but I know sometimes these things only come around once. And secondly, the fire. Did they catch who did it? No information, nothing. Do they think it was just stupid vandalism or more of the same guy that liked to mess with our electric down there?
Yeah, I think that's unknown because we didn't catch anyone, so it's, yeah, we're
Yeah.
concentrating on the bait shop, so we weren't really concentrating on the porta-john.
Do we have sprinklers around that bait shop?
We don't have sprinklers in it, but we do,
Okay.
we do have a fire alarm system.
Okay, yeah, I'm just a little concerned with the short history we've had with this place. It's proving to be quite the humdinger, let me just say that. And then last time I was there, one of the ponds still isn't filled, but I saw it looked like you guys were doing some work with the corrugated thingamajiggers.
Yeah, culverts.
Culverts, thank you.
So what we did was we installed another culvert to make a water connection between the lake that's most filled and the one that's least filled. We're also going to, next week or the week thereafter, we have to line up some rental equipment pump some water from the river into the lake system.
Yeah, I guess I know the fishing derby, I think it's Saturday, right?
It's
For the
Saturday,
adults?
yeah. We stocked for it.
I haven't been down there yet to see my bench. I don't think it's there yet.
It's not there yet.
Do we have an ETA on my bench?
I don't have one right now.
Okay, all right, that's all my questions. Kind of,
Kind
sort of.
of.
It does have mine and my husband's name on it, yes.
Julie, I'm gonna hold you off so I can wrap this section up, and then you'll go first under comments by
Well, it's regarding
commissioners.
the,
Just give me 1 second, okay? Our next meeting date is Thursday, June 1st, 2023 at 9 a.m. at the Will County Office Building, 302 North Chicago Street, Joliet, Illinois. And that concludes reports. Do we have any comments by the public? Any comments by the public? Okay. Next, comments by commissioners, and we'll start with Commissioner Berkowitz.
Ralph, a couple things. You know, we've had many discussions regarding Weber Road. And I would like to encourage you, like Jackie, to ramp this up. We have, I mean, I'll go out and get pictures and share it with you guys. The amount of traffic, and it is a public safety hazard now, with families biking and walking and that particular stretch of road. And it just continues to grow. And it's just a miracle nobody's gotten hit by a car already. And they can get hit four ways, either Weber Road or Royce Road, from both directions. So it's just too many people and not enough space. So I know the Park District, Naperville Park District, they're concerned as well. And if they can help you move this forward as well, I'm sure that they would be on board with that. But it is really a scary thing. I just, we can't tell people to stay home, and then we continue to bring more people in. And it does continue to get worse and worse.
Yeah. We've already had conversations with the Naperville Park District in the city of Naperville, who's the owner of the actual property in question. Both of them are in favor of this project. What I wanted to do is to have our audit completed so that when I made the proposal to you to utilize reserve funds, I could tell you how much reserve funds we had so that you can feel comfortable that my recommendation is satisfactory.
Can you give us an idea of what the timetable would be?
Typically, phase one engineering takes about 18 months to complete. And then once we complete that, then we would apply to those federally funded alternative transportation programs. And once we hear from them, that releases phase two engineering, and then phase three is technically construction. That whole process can take 48 months from beginning to end. So,
Okay. So maybe there's some way we might be able to accelerate that, or if there's any way,
we can investigate some options. There's potentially, potentially we could petition one of our or our federal representatives or senators to make a specific allocation within an upcoming budget. Okay, which can accelerate that process. But we'd still have to complete the engineering to do it. It would just take out the grant.
Okay. And the second item is regarding Hidden Oaks. So that's a very remote area because you can approach it from the north, practically every side. I would encourage us to get some type of cameras out there, some type of security, because, and I know we apparently have some, but maybe to ramp it up, because this incident just shows me that this is probably not going to stop.
We do have cameras out there. We have a permanent camera now that the bait shop's up and running, and then we have several temporary cameras throughout the preserve. We just have to keep changing where we're pointing them.
Or perhaps add more, because I just don't think this is going to stop. They'll wait a little while, and then they'll do it again. So if we can't catch them, so I would encourage us to look at adding more then. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Any other comments by commissioners? Last chance. All right, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. Trainier, second Freeman. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, have a great day, everybody. For you Star Wars fans, may the 4th be with you. You don't get it? I know. Very disappointing. Thanks for all your help. What'd I say? I did not.
Good morning. I'd like to call the Forest Preserve District Finance Committee meeting for Thursday, May 4th to order at, that look like 9:51? 9:51. Vince, could I have you stand, lead us on the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Lisa, could I have a roll call, please?
Ogala. Butler. Williams. Winfrey. Logan. Rivas. Ortiz. Costa. Richmond.
Here.
Vice President Parker. President Newquist. President Mueller. We have 6. We have a quorum.
All right, great. First item up is the approval of minutes. Can I get a motion for the minutes for April 6th? Can I have a roll call?
Ogala. Butler. Williams. Winfrey. Logan. Rivas. Ortiz. Costa. Richmond.
Yes.
We have 6 minutes past.
All right, minutes passed.
Sorry, skip.
All right. Okay. All right. Old business, did I skip that? Yes. You know what, I guess I should I have my little cheat sheet with the number here, I gotta put it right on there, so I apologize, so, can I get a motion, on the schedule of bills in the amount of $1,004,628.72? Should we do a roll call? We can do a previous roll? second to the previous, anybody? Okay, great. Thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. I apologize for that. I'll make sure I put my sticky on there next time. New business. We've got is the approval of ordinance number 631 establishing the 2023-24 land use fees of the Forest Preserve District of Will County. Can I get a motion? Previous? All in favor? All right, motion carries. Second line item up is a permission of bidding of 6 farm license areas for the 2024 farm license program. Can I get a motion? This discussion, Chair Judy?
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys might like to have Andy come up and talk about that, because we do have new people that may not know about the farm licenses.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know it. You know it. You know it. You've been doing it for, I don't know how many, 10 years now, 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah, for those that you don't know me, I'm Andrew Hawkins, a Director of Conservation Programs. One of the conservation programs that I oversee is the agricultural program. So specific to the 6 that are going out this time, one is an organic farm property. I believe it's 71 acres. It's right in the range of 70 acres. It's down in the Kankakee Sands area. The other 5 are traditional or conventional cropping. And what we do is we use practices that are part of the regenerative program with the absence of using livestock or animals, which is part of the regenerative program. We follow pretty much all the same guidelines. So we require that the producer only use strip till or no-till practices to keep the soils in place. So that's basically our program.
If I could add too, the amount of acreage here that we're talking is roughly, I just lost it. About 700 acres? Yeah, about 700 acres. We actually farm about 3,500 acres across the county. Typically, and then what we try to do, and Andy oversees this as well, is return about 50 acres on average each year back into its native cover. So it's kind of a catch up for us because we're constantly adding farm acreage to our program as we acquire new properties, but we're also taking acreage out of our program. And one of the successes of that is evidence down in the Kankakee Sands area, which we are continuing to farm down there on a couple of properties, but we've made some significant inroads in farmland conversion.
Like almost to the tune of 700 acres down in that area. So we would look back 5 years ago, 5 to 7 years ago is when we started actually making those conversions. I mean, farming program for the Forest Preserve District is a temporary use. If we acquire a piece of property, and this is in your packet as well, if we acquire a piece of property and it's already got agriculture on it, we'll continue agriculture. We wouldn't traditionally go into a piece of property that isn't ag and then convert it to ag. There's some instances that we do some haying, but that's kind of a separate program. That's more of a mowing and removal, and several people throughout the county that was introduced as a result of a need for more hay. So some of our open areas or fallow fields, we do that as well.
Andy, I was just wondering, for the organic farm, that's the first one now, right?
That's the second. We
It's
have
the
one
second?
at Jackson Creek. We
Okay.
tried to go do one for Sugar Creek, but we did not get any bids last year. So
Okay, and they're still doing row crop is what they're doing, but organic?
they're doing organic row crop.
Okay, thank you.
It's a conversion the first 3 years. They're getting it certified. Starting the 4th year, They're certified organic, and then it'll continue from there.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Dan, Mr. Butler?
Okay. When I first heard about no-tilling, because it was explained that it was to prevent the release of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, I thought that was kind of crazy. But I since realized that there's a lot more to it than just carbon, and that it's about preserving the bacteria, and it's about keeping the soil moist, and in combination with cover crops, how there's this whole movement that is actually reducing the amount of pesticides that are being used and the need for fertilizers, which they're reducing, but by using these cover crops. I was wondering if you could tell how your program's kind of delving into all that as well.
Well, what you said is pretty much accurate. I mean, it is accurate. The only thing I could dive in any more on is by leaving that organic matter in place, that's where you're talking about the fertilizer. So the organic matter is then consumed by the next next round of crops. So you're starting to build where through the years, especially if you go out to, an example would be at Vermont Cemetery. That Vermont Cemetery itself, the nature preserve portion, has never been tilled. And so it sets about 3 feet higher than the surrounding farm field that has been tilled. So you've lost that much soil through the years. I mean, that's just strictly because there was no vegetation on it, and they've gone through and they've disturbed the soil, whether it's wind. I'm sure you heard something about the windstorms down in southern Illinois or central Illinois. I mean, that's all just lost. I mean, those fields were all just tilled, and so the wind comes through, it's a perfect storm, and, it dusted out the whole roadway there.
I think just to get people involved and stuff, I think that by focusing more on the benefits of these natural techniques, that you could get a lot more acceptance of the idea of no-tilling. A lot of people get alarmed by that, and they have the wrong idea. I know when they plant the ryegrass, the roots that grow, they actually fertilize the soil. So it's kind of a cool process that any fiscal conservative would really appreciate.
Well, one of the really nice things for us is, most of the time the Forest Preserve were the first ones to do something. The state of Illinois actually was out in front of us on this. They required no-till the year prior to us moving that direction. So they took a little more heat, and it was a little easier on us. Sure, some producers don't like the fact that they can't do it the way their father and grandfather had done it in the past, but as a whole, they're getting the benefits, more benefits out of doing it this way. At least that's my opinion.
Well, so what I can tell you guys is when I first got on the farm, on the Forest Preserve, they had the farming going on, and they were not doing this, but we are a conservation farm family. And so we got involved, we got the Farm Bureau involved, this little ag committee. And what I can tell you, what's amazing to me is how the staff essentially knew nothing about conservation farming at all. And now I don't have to say a word because they know everything. They have all picked up all these techniques, the reason why you do it and stuff like that. And Ralph was around at the time we began this. And it was like, my whole point was, what the mission of the Forest Preserve is to keep the soil good and things like that. And if we do this, the ground is in better shape to then convert to prairie or whatever, because you're not losing all that land, all that dirt, like Andy was talking about. So I just really want to say congratulations to the staff in becoming really great experts on the conservation farming practices, because it's really important. I think we are a great example that other forest preserves and the state of Illinois should use as far as what they allow on the properties they own. So I say thank you to you guys really for doing that, accepting the idea, and then learning everything there is to know about it. It's amazing how much you guys know. Thank you.
And I would just say thank you back for challenging us and pushing us in that direction.
And And I'll just say thank you, Andy, for coming out. We'll move on. We need a previous. All right, we need a motion for the previous. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, next up is executive session, and what I'm going to need is a motion to go into executive session to review executive session minutes 5 ILCS 120/2C21. Okay, can I have roll call?
Ogalla,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Williams, Winfrey, Logan, Rivas, Ortiz, Costa, Richmond.
Yes.
We're in
Okay,
executive.
so I'll just need, yep, yeah. The door's closed and anybody not in the. Give us a minute here, Mark. I know. No, you're good. You're good. No, I'd like to move things along, so no, you're good. You're good. So, all right, can I get a motion to, for the executive session minutes for August 3rd, 2022? To release them? Okay. We do a roll call, please.
Ogalla, Butler, Williams, Winfrey, Logan, Rivas, Ortiz, Costa, Richmond.
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Next up is to release the executive session minutes for October 5th, 2022. Can I get a motion, please? Previous? We can do a previous on that? Okay, all in favor? All right, motion passes. Next up is reports, quarterly reports. First one is the investment report. Do you want to touch on any of that, Ralph? Or everybody, it was pretty much self-explanatory. Let's see. The next one up would be the quote of. You want to talk anything about this quote process here?
Just that for anyone sort of new to the committee, on a quarterly basis, we report to you any of the quotes that we release for amounts between $5,000, $30,000, $30,000.
thank you very much. All right, and then last up is the Spyglass Group. Back here. Anybody have any questions on that? We don't have to have any action on that. All right. So next thing is our next meeting is going to be Thursday, June 1st, 2023, immediately following the Operations Committee meeting, but no earlier than 9:15 a.m. here at the Will County Building, 302 North Chicago Street. Do you have any comments from the public? Comments from the public? Anybody at all? No comments from the public? All right. No, we don't need to do that. They're more than welcome to speak, but so comments by the commissioners. Any comments by the commissioners? Okay. All right. So just one last reminder too is that there's the OPEB meeting following right after this, Sherry and Meta, and everybody stick around because there's that, and then the executive committee shortly following after that. So that's all I've got. Can I get a motion to adjourn? All right, all in favor? All right, opposed? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to, instead of doing this, I gotta just write it on my sheets.
That's okay, it's an easy one to miss because it's not set off.
Well, yeah, and that's what I should.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Me and Jim and Sherry, and I don't know who else.
Sure, for you.
Thank you. I almost forgot we had this part of the meeting to
No,
do
no
today.
Do you need this?
I do.
You do?
I'm gonna take a picture.
I was gonna say, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of it.
Okay, perfect.
That's perfect, because I was just thinking to myself that I don't feel like I'm like, I don't know, ask Ralph.
Ralph, is it all right if I take this with me? Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. Is that on the agenda? Yes. Yeah. Right to take it? Mm-hmm. All right, perfect.
Good, how about you? Okay, I can't talk to you. So, turn down my volume was up on my ringer. Okay. Good morning still. Let's get this show on the road so we can move on to executive. Let's all stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance again. Jim, would you like to lead us this time?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Harn. Jaworski. Richmond. Schultz. Newquist. President Mueller.
Here.
We have 6. We have a quorum.
Wonderful. Moving on, can I have an approval of the minutes from February 2nd, 2023? Do we have a roll call?
Harn. Jaworski. Richmond. Schultz.
Yes.
Newquist. President Mueller.
Yes.
6. Minutes pass.
Wonderful. Thank you. Old business, we have none. New business, quarterly schedule of bills. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, we need to move into executive session. I believe this is probably going to be, we don't need to? Oh, okay.
Not that I know.
I thought maybe I was riding that train that we
Sorry.
just did in the last 2 meetings, but I'm not. Okay, great. Okay, moving on. Actions. No, we don't have any executive session. Next, we are going to move on to reports. Quarterly investment report. We'll let Ralph take that part, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's really nothing significant of note. During the quarter, there was a slight loss, but that has to be
Great. Any questions? Okay. Anything on the other reports? Okay, wonderful. Moving on, do we have any comments by the public? Comments by the public? Comments by the public? Am I okay? Do we need to vote on those reports?
Pardon me? I don't think so.
Do we have any comments by trustees? Comments by trustees, comments by trustees. Okay. Well, then I need a motion to adjourn, please. All in favor? Any opposed? We stand adjourned. Next meeting date to be determined.
I think, Ralph, all you gotta worry about is approval of the bills.
See, I knew I'd get that done.
Good job.
Here, I'm gonna give you.